I'm not trying to rage bait you. I'm not trying to just get views out of people. I just got to say this because I think it took like a day and a half to finally say how I truly feel. Marvel Tokon is a fun fighting game, but a very weird, restrictive, and horrible tag game. I got an analogy for this. Have you ever told a homie about your favorite food spot or a favorite restaurant? You take them to the place and your homie loves it. You know it ain't as good as before as you remembered. That is the emotional feeling that I'm getting playing Marvel Tokon. By the way, this is a beta. Disclaimer, this is a beta. So what I'm saying, after my initial feelings the day of this doesn't mean it's gonna stay the same for the future, and I'm still excited to see this game evolve and follow it along its way. That being said, I do think with Marvel Tokon, this game is an amazing product and it's amazing across the board. Don't get it twisted. This game, if it came out right now in this state, I will probably pay whatever price Arxis asks for. Let's get down to why I say this. What's really cool about the lobby is that you have like fighting game themed lobby centered around Marvel stuff. So you hit a joystick, then you step on the buttons, arcade stick buttons. Really, they love fighting games. They put the fighting game aspect and Marvel together. That says Marvel Tokon expresses all the people who are lying about being wired, right? And somebody was like, well, duh, every fighting game does that. No, it exposed a lot of you Arxis motherfuckers. They be like, I'm wired and y'all on Wi-Fi. A lot of y'all got caught lying. And that leads me to my next point about Marvel Tokon. Let's talk about the online, rollback netcode, and the different matches I played. I played all different ranges full of players, by the way. Like I've said, I've played people on Wi-Fi, wired, and Wi-Fi for like 20 minutes because I don't want to put nobody do that. Somebody on Twitter even said this. For every one player that was on wired, there was 7 people on freaking Wi-Fi. First things first, the first ever matches I've ever played in Tokon, and I had to go get it as soon as possible, was playing matches across Japan. Mind you, it can be very playable, but there's a lot of rollbacks where it hiccups rather than it just stops and delays itself. And you'll see a couple scenarios where like, it ain't really perfect right now. The netcode, when it's double wired players, oh my god, it is better than head, bro. Better than some motherfucking sex, bro. This shit is amazing, dog. Y'all don't understand, bro. Ooh, it felt so good. This is probably some of the best netcode and even better than Strive. This is probably the best netcode Arxis has put out there for any of their fighting games, in my honest opinion. But this one, it get really bad. When you have to fight Wi-Fi players, it's so inconsistent at some points, and even when people are like air dashing, you'll see a lot of skips or potential drops or some straight stuttering. The Wi-Fi versus wired experience is not always the best time. And also, by the way, in this beta, I primarily played in either 2 lobbies outside of the first Japan one, US Central and US East Coast, because I'm in the middle of the United States anyway. But I will say on average, I'll give the game right now a solid A- for its netcode. All across the board, it works flawlessly, better than almost many games I've ever played. He say Tokon might be lit. Tokon is lit to an extent. For me, all of my emotions right now about the game is coming from the fact that I didn't have access to a training mode. Once I find access to the training mode and seeing how things work a lot more, I'll probably have more fun with it. The assists feel clunky. Tagging is weird because it's like they want you to hold down, but the game doesn't have a click sound or things of that nature. I think the game is like right there. They're right there. The one health bar thing not too bad because you got 3 rounds. First things first, why I call it not a tag game based on the title of this video. The way the game works is that it feels very restrictive, and I feel like that goes against tag games all entirely. I feel like most early combo routes in the game came from just button, assist, tag, button, tag. That's how it felt. It just felt very restrictive in a lot of ways. Now down the road, the game did evolve a little bit with some of the mixed concepts, but the general combos just didn't grab me, especially with how assist works. The game itself very heavy-handed with its assist system and tagging all entirely that I just wasn't having a good time. It felt very clumsy, very weird, and not that responsive all the time either. There'll be multiple times when I'm trying to hit tag and it says change, but it wasn't go through. No matter even if I wasn't getting hit or doing something else, it just wouldn't work sometimes. I'm gonna throw this on the screen for people and see if y'all get my analogy at this point. If you hate any of these types of games, this will probably be the game for you. A lot of people gonna be like, you're weird. And everybody keeps saying it like, oh, you didn't like DBFZ like that? You weren't gonna like this? But like, I feel like this is low-key in some areas worse than DBFZ for me, right? The reason why I didn't like DBFZ, and there's multiple videos on this YouTube channel as we speak. My problem with DBFZ was that, I'm not gonna lie, at the time I was salty that MVCI was trash. I liked the gameplay. I think MVCI gameplay for me at that time was better than Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ got better than me in Season 3. I love Season 3 of Dragon Ball FighterZ. When they added Videl, Ultra Instinct Goku, I was having a lot of fun playing it. One nothing I would play competitively. I love the culture of fighters. I love all it's done for the fighting games. I love the impact it's had from the sales screen, the Sonic Fox and Goichi side switch. Don't do that. I like that aspect of the game. Even if it ain't something I'm actively playing or making content on, doesn't mean I just don't really like it in a way to play it competitively, right? And plus, for me personally, I've said this multiple times, DBFZ came out at the worst time because outside of fighting games, only thing I was playing was Dragon Ball games. Hard Mission, Xenoverse 2 still here and there, to watching Dragon Ball. All I saw for most of my life, Super was still coming on a couple years before that. It was hella Dragon Ball. So I was burnt out seeing it, then having to play some Dragon Ball. From Captain America, sometimes you see all the crazy combos, and literally everybody's doing the same Star-Lord routes in this game, the same Star-Lord route. Mind you, I have to say it again, it is early, because I don't want y'all to be thinking I'm talking about the game being trash forever. The way the game works is that it feels very restrictive, and I feel like that goes against tag games all entirely. Again, it felt like there wasn't really a huge incentive to really tag in this game, and I feel like that was 2SKO's mission statement anyway. Well, a player can play just one character or try to utilize all four. But I feel like it just kind of hurts the whole tag element, because it just kind of like, it's weird and it's not really what I want from a tag fighter personally. I don't know, I think the whole system needs to be reworked. This is a hard feat because this is the first time we ever had a 4v4 fighting game ever. And I also feel like it's something that they're gonna have to overcome this, and I feel like it's gonna be divisive down the road, because a certain group of people are gonna find like the mix and cool part of the game when it actually opens up, when you get a beta, a place to lab rather, and versus people that's just playing it on the surface and just like, this may not be just necessarily for me. It's a pretty game and it has Marvel, so I can see that resonating with just general people on the surface out the gate. That being said though, I strongly do believe Tokon has a lot that it can work on in the gameplay department. Everything else is flawless and beautiful right now. And the package itself, if this was just the online experience that we were gonna get, this is really good. It could came out today in that way. Same way I said with 2XKO as well. But I do strongly believe that the gameplay, not what I'm liking right now. It ain't really holding me like that. Maybe I need a training mode. Maybe I need another beta with more playtime, because I've only played about 10 hours of it. But that's all I gotta say here, man. For Avataryaya, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Koala, peace, and I'm out.
And I swear I never felt